Hello everyone, this is Serenity Radio here and I am joined by the lovely Georgie. Hello Georgie.
Hi Michelle, lovely to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad that it's you. It's my first live interview and I was really nervous, so I'm glad that I've got a lovely smiley face joining me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So this is the first of many interviews to meet the presenters of Serenity Radio and joining the Serenity Radio family, and we're really, really delighted to have you. Do you want to tell everyone a bit about yourself?
Sure, yes. So my name's Georgie G Dean. I consider myself a singer and a channel for the angels and the celestial realms. Sound therapy, angel guidance, singing, they're my passions, and I'm just really grateful to be able to share them with everybody.
Yeah, we're super excited about your show, which we will get onto in just a minute. What inspired you, Georgie? How did you end up on the route, especially connecting with the angels? How did you end up doing that?
Okay, so well, my backstory is I went to theatre school and I sang and I danced and I had a very unangelic life. And then Reiki basically opened the door, or reopened the door, I should say, because I was aware when I was much younger of energies and lights and other people's energy. And when I went to school, I closed down completely. Then whilst pregnant with my eldest son, I started feeling and sensing angels and spirit around me. And then when I did Reiki, which was 21 years ago, that just opened the doors. It flung them wide open. I was suddenly aware of the spirit world, the celestial realms, and it just completely changed my life.
Incredible. So I think most people would ask, is there a religious element to this? Because I'm not particularly religious, but I'm very spiritual. And I found my connection with angels a few years ago, but it had nothing to do with religion. Was that the same for you?
Absolutely nothing to do with religion whatsoever. I was christened as a child because that's what you do, like in the East End back in those days. But we didn't really go to church. I went to a choir growing up, but it never really felt like home for me. It always felt like there was something missing. So no, for me, it's not about religion. It's about unity consciousness. It's about everybody accepting that we're all different, but at the same time, we all have an aspect of uniqueness within us and around us.
And that moves very nicely into what your show's about, doesn't it?
It does.
Do you want to tell everyone?
Yeah, I will. So the show is called Awaken the Angel Within You. And I realized that we all had an angel within us. It took me 8 years to realize it. So in 2010, I had what at the time I was calling an angelic intervention. So basically, I was in a low point in my life. I was depressed and stressed and fed up, and I felt as though, nothing was happening. I wasn't where I was meant to be. I went to a spiritual development circle in North London. And during this circle, I went into an altered state of awareness. Some people call it trance. Okay. And basically your brain waves slow down. And it's a couple of steps deeper than, say, meditation.
Okay.
And during that time, what happened was everyone in the room saw my face change, and a golden light was coming out of me. And I started singing, and then I spoke, but it wasn't my voice. The voice was, it was slightly different. It wasn't my normal, regular sort of like London twang. Mm-hmm. And so the being that spoke said her name was Love, and they asked if she was an angel, and she said she was. So it took me another 8 years to realize that that angel was actually part of me. And how this came about was, funnily enough, I was teaching a friend's child how to sing with the angels, and I was teaching her my Marry Me song. And I was also teaching her some basic Reiki. So while she was practicing her Reiki on me, she said, "The angel is you. You are the angel. The angel is within you." And it was like, wow. And I got complete goosebumps.
Wow.
And it was like, you know, this girl is a pure channel. You know, she's not got any ego. The angels are speaking through her, or her angelic self spoke through her. And then I realized that was the case. So I've been working closely with my angel within, love, and my angelic team to develop and share meditations, messages, affirmations, prayers to enable other people to really connect and awaken the angel within them.
Amazing. It's so exciting, and I am really excited because I know we've got another little show planned for the future also, where people will actually be able to call in and message in and ask questions from the angels. So that's going to be great. I'm going to say a few hellos because I can see that people are checking in. So we have, oh bless my mum. Hello, mum.
Hello.
Michelle, Lucy, Geraldine, and Alfie. Hello, all of you. Thank you very much for your messages. Tell me something fun about yourself, Georgie. Tell me something really just completely different
Totally
from
random.
angels. Yeah, random.
Okay. So I once was a can-can dancer at the Moulin Rouge in Paris.
Oh, amazing. That is random.
Yeah, exactly. I can't think of anything more random than that, I'm afraid.
Well, I think I need to see photos of this.
Oh,
I'm sure there's evidence somewhere.
I think there is.
Okay, we might have to share a little photo at some point. Georgie, obviously Serenity Radio is all about well-being, and the whole point of the radio is to get well-being modalities to everybody. We are going to be broadcasting in 44 countries, which is so exciting. How do you manage your own well-being? What sort of modalities do you use? Obviously, you've said Reiki, so I'm assuming that you do use that. But anything else that you like to do?
Yes, so I actually don't particularly work with Reiki on myself anymore. Okay. I tend to use sound healing.
Of course.
The reason being is with Reiki, I feel that it works, it's a temporary thing. But with sound healing, every time you work with the way I work with sound healing is it gets recorded in the cells of your body, and you get another upgrade and you get another expansion. So that's how I work spiritually, I guess, for my own well-being. I also like to meditate, walking out. I don't live too far from Southend, so I like to walk along promenade and by the sea. I like to get walk in the woods, stretching. I don't actually do yoga, but I do my own sort of stretching as from a dancer's point of view. And I still love dancing, and that's really important for me to ground, because what I do is so airy-fairy. I need grounding. So at the moment I'm dancing at home, but normally I'd go and do something like Ciroc.
Amazing. We obviously, during your show, you will be sharing meditations where you are using your voice, I understand. But we do have you also on our Serenity Spotlight. So I'm really excited about that. And everyone will get to hear you sing. So and actually experience what you were just talking about, that vibration and that deep connection with yourself during that time. So very exciting indeed.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I'm just reading the comments along the side, and somebody's actually saying hello, Michelle's mum. So yeah, that's really sweet. She'll be going, oh, they're talking about me.
Oh, bless.
Well, if anybody actually listening does have a question for Georgie, and I'm throwing this at her because she didn't know about that, but I thought as people are there, if they do want to ask a question, then do send a comment, and we'll see if we can answer it. Nothing coming in yet. They're all being very shy today.
And also, there's always a time lag when you're waiting for questions. I've noticed this. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I forget that it's not just instant. Okay. Thank you, Michelle. So Michelle has said, do you see angels? Do they physically appear in front of you? I guess that's what she means.
So I don't see them standing there in like 3D as a person, but I see them as lights. And I would might see them in my third eye, my inner vision, but I don't see them physically, but I hear them. I'm clairaudient and clairsentient, so I feel them and I hear them. That's my main dominance sense.
Yeah, I'm clairvoyant, so I am a psychic medium as well. And my first experience with an angel was visible to me, but any experience after that, and I use angelic Reiki, so any experience for me after that has always been an empathic and just a claircognizance, just knowing. So I do get a visual in my third eye. So yeah, I think everyone sees them differently, don't they?
Yeah, and it takes a lot of trust. So when you're if you are one of these people that can see them physically, that is quite rare, but I know there are people out there that can. Lorna Burns, one of those. But for me, the greatest knowing or the greatest sense has been the clairsentience, because in a meditation you can have like a naughty, not wicked or evil, but naughty little being pretending to be something else.
Yes.
And they might be showing themselves as an angel. In fact, they're not. So when you can really feel the energy of the angels, and sometimes I smell them as well. I get a specific rose fragrance with them. And when you get that sense, no one can lie about that sense. No one can pretend. It's really powerful.
It's funny, I rarely get sense, actually. When I do, it's usually a family member that's passed, making themselves present to me. I'm just reading another comment. So do others see you as an earth angel? Do you consider yourself as an earth angel?
I consider myself, a being of light that's temporarily in this physical body, but everyone is a being of light in a temporary physical body. I've been called an earth angel. Oh, and Craig, bless him, called me the people's angel the other day. It was really sweet.
I'm sure he's probably watching. Hello, Craig. No, that's really lovely. I'm just okay. So we've got Alfie said, I was in the kitchen at 3 a.m. once and someone whispered my name and it scared me because everyone was asleep and I still don't know what it was, but it wasn't the first time. I'm sure you've had many experiences where you didn't understand what that gift was at first. I have my own experiences just like that.
Well, my son, for instance, he had that experience when he was about 13 and he came running down the stairs. He was upstairs. It was about 9 o'clock in the evening. He was probably on his PlayStation and he heard somebody calling him. He knew who it was. It did frighten him. So we, at the time, because he was so young, we asked them to step back and appreciate that he's not quite ready for that right now. So it's a case of not being fearful, because there is nothing to be fearful of. And is it Alfie? Look to what you would like to develop. Do you want to develop mediumship? Do you want to develop connecting with angels? And then find someone that can support you and mentor you to do that, because you've obviously got a gift. And whether or not it was a family member or your guardian angel, only you should find that out yourself. So rather than go to someone to be told, it's a case of you being put into that space of protection but surrender, so you know you're safe because you've said a prayer, and then have somebody hold the space for you so that you can go and find out yourself, because everyone will have a different view on it. Believe me, they will. Someone will tell you it's a guide, someone else will tell you it's an angel, someone else will tell you it's a loved one. Only you really know the truth. So all you need is that supportive space.
Yeah, it really just, you said earlier, it really just goes back to trust, doesn't it? It's about trusting yourself and trusting what you're hearing and feeling and sensing. And yeah, I think in everything that we do, trust is probably the hardest thing to get on with, isn't it? Yeah. Michelle is agreeing with this. Yeah, it is. It is the hardest thing to do. It's just trusting. When I work psychically, I think the biggest struggle in the beginning was trusting the information I was receiving. And because I was reading for other people, I used to get really nervous about giving information in case it was wrong. And then I kept trying to decipher the information because it didn't make sense to me. And somebody said to me, it's not meant to make sense to you, it's meant to make sense for them. And just to speak your truth. So I'd recommend meditating and perhaps opening up your chakras and then just listening and receiving and listening to your body. We're going to have loads of meditations on the station when it does go live on the 13th of June. Do subscribe. I've got a little message scrolling down the bottom. Subscribe at the website www.serenityradio.co.uk. Georgie, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm so excited to get this started now, and you are going to be going live with us on the 13th. So very exciting. I've got a hello from Julie as well. Hello, Julie. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And don't forget, Georgie will be on next week. So stay tuned. Thank you, Georgie.
Thank you, Michelle.
See you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.